began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show.
Hello, hello. I just love that song. Let me just modify this here for a sec. There you go. Save and show. All right, Troy Sutton, thank you so much for being here this morning. Thomas, Life in the Valley, how's it going? I didn't check outside. There was a tiny snowstorm yesterday, and all I could see was the steps outside, and it was a lot of snow, so I'm not too anxious to go out and shovel. Let me share this on Facebook quickly. Boom. Try to get some more people to come for a chat. There you go. Got 4 inches or so yesterday morning. Yeah, maybe like 6, 7, 8, 7 inches. We weren't expecting that much, to be honest. It was like a fluffy snow, though. Like, it's not heavy, but it's just you shovel it and you get it right in the face after. And I shoveled the stairs yesterday just after supper, and it feels like it didn't do nothing at all. Still the same amount of snow right now. So Friday I was talking about how, financially speaking, I'm about to have some interesting news with the contract that we just learned Friday afternoon, that our contract was renewed, and apparently this is the best contract ever seen. And about 5 years ago, we got $3 an hour raise. So if this is even better, we're in for a pretty nice surprise. We should hear from it and know exactly all the details in about 3 weeks. So once this is done, we'll have to vote on if we accept it or not. And I'm guessing that we will accept it. Nobody wants to go on strike. I get that sometimes it's necessary. It's our right as a union members to go on strike, but nobody never really benefits from a strike. Especially working in a hospital, the patients do not get the same service. They can say whatever they want. Everything is behind whenever we get back. I'm the only one doing the job I'm doing, and last time we were on strike, I was deemed essential for the department, but was only allowed to work part-time, half-time. And at the moment, I mean, I'm doing about 12-hour shifts. Well, for the last week anyway, and I'm supposed to do 8. So if I did a week of about 40, 44, 45 hours, there's no way I could have done it with only 20, or even it would have been 18. So that's just not possible. I do not shovel the fluffy snow. I use a leaf blower. Yeah, I was supposed to get one from the brand Proyama. It wasn't sent yet. It would have been nice to actually show a video on what's going on right now. It would have been perfect for that, but unfortunately something happened and it was not sent out. But I'm still hoping that I will get it at some point. Sorry, parents from the handball team asking questions. What a bunch of unions just strike a few years ago doing fiber internet, and that we are not unions, so they all came and worked for us for a week. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, you want to support the union as much as possible, but when you live paycheck to paycheck, it means that there are some bills that are not getting paid. And they can say that you will get retroaction later, but it takes, I don't know, at least 2 months or 3 months after the contract is signed. So when you go on strike, you never know how long it's going to last. I've seen some people go on strike for years before the contract was resolved. So you go on strike for a year, working half your regular hours. That's very, very painful on the budget. And some people might lose their house over something like that. Luckily, we have a great union bargaining team, and they were able to score an awesome deal according to what they're telling us. So that's going to be a plus. And that being said, I'm about to, I don't want to say live my dream, because I don't know how good I'm going to be, but I've always dreamed to learn the piano. And as crazy as it may seem, this is something I've always wanted to do. I purchased a keyboard like maybe 20 years ago, was never really able to learn. And I ended up selling it. But my daughter has one, and my other daughter has one as well. So we have 2 piano in the house. Sometimes I just go on it and press the keys because I love the sound of a piano. And I would just love to learn how to play piano. And I've been looking around for a teacher for a little while, and I was never able to find anyone. And yesterday, someone I know, I can say a friend of mine, we're not really close friends, just someone I know. When we see each other, we say hi and how's it going and so on. Posted something on Facebook saying that he was going to start giving piano lessons. Apparently it's something he's done in the past. So he's got the experience. And I reached out to him, asking him how much it would cost. And since we can go, my daughter and I, we're having some sort of a family deal, kind of. The price is very reasonable, and we're just going to look at when we're going to start, because I told him we're really interested, and my daughter's interested, so we would both go for about an hour a week. And I'm going to learn some piano. I'm going to learn to play piano. I don't know how much time I'm going to have to practice at home. Hopefully, I'll be able to go at least a few minutes per day. But it's positive. It's a good thing for me. No, that's the thing. When we go on strike, I can only work half time. So instead of bringing home a $1,500 check bi-weekly, I was only bringing home $750, or maybe because of all the taxes and stuff and the brackets and all that stuff, about $900 bi-weekly. Can't do anything with $900 bi-weekly. Not with 5 kids. And you have to go and borrow money, and you have to convince the banks that you're going to get the money back at some point. But even if you get retroaction, you need to pay it all back. So you pay taxes on the money you're getting and just end up paying the interest on the loans you just took because you had. So I get that sometimes it needs to happen. I mean, I've been there for 15 years. It's only happened once, thankfully. But it's never fun for anyone when it gets to that point. So yeah, I didn't do much yesterday. I know the little update I gave Friday was not a very big one. Unfortunately, nothing major happened in the last 2 weeks. I was going to go for a snowshoe hike today, but I'm not ready and I don't really feel like it. I hate the fluffy snow. I'm just getting lazy, and I feel like there's a few things I need to do at home. I might be able to do a video on one of the things I have in my backpack, like show, the regular stuff I would have in my backpack. I feel like there's something missing in there, but whatever. I have my sled in the back of my Jeep, and a lot of things in there as well, but I might be able to do a video on just the backpack itself. That could be something interesting for people to see exactly what I have in there. And you have to keep in mind that whatever you have in the backpack would be different in the summer and in the winter. Obviously, in the winter, you need to have a lot more stuff. You need to be able to warm up, make a fire if you have to, maybe even in the summer, but in the summer, it might not be as critical as it would be in the winter. So that's something I'm going to try to do today. It's March break here for kids, so no handball all week. I'm going to be able to focus a little bit more on my own college studies and rest a little bit. Even if I enjoy coaching, I enjoy spending time with my kids. To have a week off from all those sports is always welcome. You don't need to prepare, because you have to keep in mind that I practice from 6 to 7:30. I have to be there at 5:30. So starting 5 o'clock, I basically have to get ready at home. So I'm not doing something else from 5 to 7:30. The practice is done. Before I pick up all the stuff after the practice, sometimes we'll have a little chat. Some parents might have a few questions. Some kids might have a few questions, or parents have concerns, or even if it's just between coaches, just talking about what's going on, what happened in the practice, what can we improve, what can we do differently, or what went well, what didn't go too well. Sometimes I arrive home at 8 o'clock, and you leave for work at 7 in the morning, you arrive home at 8 p.m. at night, your day is done. You don't feel like doing anything else. You go for a bath or a shower, and then it's pretty much bedtime. I try to spend some time with the other kids just before they go to bed, and some time with my girlfriend, and then it's snoring time and sleeping time, because you have to start over the next day. Tuesday I get home, it's getting ready for my class. Wednesday, same thing. I have handball practice, but it's a little bit different because it's right after work. So I go to work about 15 minutes earlier. I have a little deal with management. I go to work 15 minutes early, and that way I'm able to leave 15 minutes early because the practice is at 4. And it's done. The practice is at 4:30, I should say. But being at 4:30, if I work about 30 minutes away, I don't really have time to prepare. So they allow me to leave 15 minutes early. And I get home about 6:15. It's supper time. And then after I'm done, cleaning up the table and everyone's taking a shower or a bath, again, it's almost time to go to bed. Thursday, it's a little break. My daughter has a volleyball practice usually, but I'm not coaching, so I just have to drop her off and or go pick her up, depending on, sometimes my girlfriend drops her off and I go pick her up, or the opposite. Friday night, I have my live stream, which is a little bit relaxing for me, but it's still, when I do it, I'm not doing something else. Saturday is the day that I try to take a deep breath and rest a little bit, or do things for me. Which means sometimes trying to film a video, because Sunday it's a cleanup day here. My girlfriend likes to have the house ready and clean for the start of the week. So that's kind of the way that my week goes, working from 8 to 4. Although this past week, because of the new system we implemented, it was pretty much 7:30 to 5 o'clock every day. So you can imagine that it was very tiring, very time-consuming. Energy-wise, it was my energy level was very low. So to have all those positive things happening around me, the fact that I'm going to have a very nice income taxes refund, the fact that we're probably going to get a nice raise, all of this together is making me look in the future with a little bit more optimism that the last few weeks. I know the inflation's going to go up, with everything's going on politically. It can't be good economically for us. And to have that little raise that we're probably going to get is going to allow me to at least stay on top financially, and maybe be able to clear out some loans or some debts before it gets too bad. I'm supposed to be done paying for my Jeep in November, December this year. So, that might be one that I might be able to finish a little bit before. I might also be able to attack the van after, which would have an extra year left to pay on it. Because if I have more money in my hands, in my wallet, to the point where I can pay off one loan, I can take that extra payment that I have in my pocket and double another payment. So instead of being done in a year, I could be done in like 6 months, but the raise I would get would also allow me to have it paid by maybe 4 months instead of a year. So by April next year, I could be done with all my payments. Well, my vehicle payments, I should say. So then I could be able to pay for my consumer proposal a lot faster. Instead of paying $250 a month, I could probably add an extra $500 biweekly. That would reduce the time by 2/3. And instead of having 4 years left to pay, 3 years left to pay, 4 years by now, I would have maybe like a year and a half left to pay, and then I would be completely debt free, other than my mortgage. And then I could attack the mortgage, pay it off, bring my credit up, and then maybe put some money aside. I know I'm just talking about the future without really knowing what's going to happen, but it's fun to be optimistic and look at things in a more positive way. If I can do all those things, maybe in 2 or 3 years from now, I'd be able to buy land somewhere, which is something I would love to do. Even if it was just like an acre on Sarah's property, Sarah keeps telling me that he maybe would be willing to sell me 2 acres, just so I can have my barn and have my home place and be able to call it my own spot. That would be something very, very fun for me. And I know I'm just saying that. Might have to find another place to buy. Who knows? But it's positive. I have completely different gear and bags for winter and summer. Yeah, there's a lot of similar stuff. Like, I mean, you would still need to have a little. Well, I still have my little air mattress that doesn't take more than that much space. Well, actually, I have one here. No, this is one of them. Barely takes any space at all. So whether it's winter or summer, I would have one for both. But you would need more stuff to keep you warm in the winter. Make a fire and make sure you're warm with like a tarp and stuff like that. Hello, Dave. Good morning. How's it going? It's a full life having a family. Been there and got. You got the T-shirt. Awesome. Hello, Lois. It's the Marshmallow Man. How's it going? Every little bit helps, that for sure. Yeah. And if I have more money, then I can do more stuff because I won't need to stay home to try to save money. If let's say I have an extra $1,000 for my vacations next year, I can go around and travel and show all of you guys some more interesting stuff as well. I would have more time to go out in the wild, more time to go out in nature, all that kind of stuff, and also be able to travel a little bit more. I can go see Thomas and go for a fishing trip at some point. Might be able to go visit Dave at some point, anything that's possible. It's going good. That's awesome. As you can see, I'm very, very happy this morning. It's positive vibes. Let's keep the positive vibes. My hockey team won. But yeah, like I've had a very busy week last week. This week is going to be a lot less stressful. I'm going to be able to take some rest. And then starting the week after the March break, March 10th, we're starting back with all the sports. The first weekend, we have a tournament in Moncton. The following weekend, my daughter has a volleyball tournament. Then we have a weekend off. Probably going to find something to do. The weekend of April 5th, my daughter had to choose between improvisation and volleyball. She chose volleyball. She has a tournament in Moncton while I have a handball tournament with my son right here in town. Still need to fine-tune the details on how everything's going to happen, but it's starting because the following weekend we have another tournament. April 19, we're having a break. April 26, we have another tournament. March 3rd is going to be the provincials in the category A, or the younger teams, the team B, second team. The following weekend will be the provincials for my team. May 17, my daughter has her dance show because she's also in a dance group. And then either the 24th or the 31st of May is going to be the regionals. And we're still not sure exactly when it's going to happen, but I'm hoping that it's one of those 2 weekends, because the weekend before, I'm going to lose some players, and the weekend after, I'm going to lose my goalie. So, and then that brings us middle of June. And then if we win the regionals, we also have the Acadian Games from June 25th to July, or it might be June. I don't know how it's going to happen this year. I'm guessing June 25th to June 29th. And then summer's going to be here, and I should finally have some free time. School will be done. I'm going to have some vacation at that point. And as you can see, my weekends are going to be very, very busy. Just have to keep the good vibes going, head down and work, and good things will come. Exactly. And honestly, for the first time in my life, I feel like my finances are finally falling into place. The kids are at an age where they can all babysit themselves, so we don't have to worry about daycare. My girlfriend's been talking about going back to work. She actually has a job for the summer, and she's going to have to take a little 300 hours course, I think. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. She's going to be a lot busy this summer, and then it's going to calm down after the summer because school is done. She's going to be working in a daycare. She's going to be a lot more busy because there's going to be a lot more kids. Then school's going to start again, and she's going to have reduced hours for a little while. And then who knows what's going to happen. If she can find, if she has a job and she can have a lot more shifts, well, financially speaking, it's going to go a lot better for all of us, at least for a year until the family allowance goes down because of of all the money we made. But it's all part of the game. Something else I would love to do in the future, but we're talking about maybe 5 years down the road, would be to either buy one of those pre-made sheds that you can get for like $1,000 at Ken Store or Canadian Tire or stores like that, or build something myself, which there isn't much chances of that happening because I suck at building stuff. But who knows? I might have to get a shed somehow. And then I would love to buy another ATV at some point or side by side. But that's way down the line. That's at a point where the kids might be, I might have like 3 or 4 kids out of school into college. So maybe college, university will keep me, keep my budget to pretty much zero. At least, it's a plan. Once they're done with their studies, then I can retire and they can make me live for a little while. No, but honestly, I've been planning on working for at least 30 years at the hospital, because once you reach a 30-year mark, you have the big pension. And I started in 2010. So that would mean that I have about halfway done. If I'm 41, so another 15 years would bring me to 56. Maybe I would not necessarily retire at age 56, but at least at that time, that point, I know that I'll be in a position where I can decide to retire whenever I want. So that's a huge stress taken out of your shoulders when you know you can retire if you want. If something happens, that's one of my family member gets sick, or if I realize that I still have energy to go on and I want to go on, or I realize that maybe I don't have as much energy, or I want to travel the world, or I want to explore Canada, or I want to go out camping, I can decide what I want to do in 15 years, Looking to show dogs use them all year round. They may be up your Show dogs? What do you mean, show dogs? Don't need to insure or register them either. Oh, you mean little sheds? Yeah, there's a few companies. There was one that was doing that here in Eel River Crossing, but the business was burned down, and they stopped doing it. But I know there's another company doing it in the Bathurst area. But then again, I mean, if I have the money to buy the wood, it's probably something I can do on my own. It would not cost me too much. Snow dogs, they're a track sled. Okay. But building a small shed is something I could probably do on my own. I mean, how hard can it be? You just have to look online, and on YouTube, you can learn how to do pretty much everything you want. But it's just fun. Like even in the summer, I have a tent. I have a few sleeping bags here. I have a few hair mattresses. I have a lot of fishing gear. I have some fishing line and fishing gear pretty much all over the place. Ouch. I probably have something else here on the ground as well. The ground on the floor, I mean. Tiny sleeping bag. I have the fishing gear. I have the hunting gear. I have the camping gear. This summer, I want to take the kids out. I want to take the kids, even if it's just on my parents' property somewhere, to go camping. The whole game, people move and everything. ATV will do just smaller. No, but I want the ATV to go hunting and things like that and go for drives, not to do the work. I started at a union place at 30 and got out at 55. They pay me every month now. Yeah, well, that's the thing. After 30 years of work, I would have seen like 3 different generations of people coming in. When I started, the people that were older than me pretty much all retired or are set to retire in the next 5 years. And then there's a new generation in the middle. That would be me. I kind of got lucky though. Like I ended up with the position quite fast where I don't really depend on others for my vacation, which means that I can pretty much select the vacations I want. Although lately it's gotten even worse. So the older I get, the more restrictions they put. At first I was just not able to take vacation at the same time as one tech and one pharmacist. But now, because someone has to replace me now, there's like, I have to be on the floor when people are on vacation. So there's like, I'm falling behind the list. Plus, I can't take vacation at the same time as the lead tech. I can't take vacations at the same time as the manager. I can't take the same vacation as the pharmacist chief. So it seems that the older I get, the less chances I have of getting my vacations. But usually take the hunting vacation during the hunting season, and I take like 1 week in the summer. So I'll probably take 1 week in the summer, 1 week for moose hunting, 1 week for deer hunting, and keep 1 week free for when I go for my national exam. That's either going to be at some point in September, maybe October, or in April 2026. If it happens, my exam will be in Ottawa, and I would love to go there and spend a few days there after my exam. So that would be like my vacation. go for a fishing trip with Thomas or Scott from Rambling with the Broom. My dad retired in his early 40s. He built up his logging company and sold everything. I want to do something like that. That's what my grandfather did too, but a lot more successful. What my grandparents did, my dad didn't. They bought a real estate company and a Tim Horton franchise for long-term income. Well, you have to keep in mind also that the time of our grandparents, basically there was nothing done yet. So as soon as you had an idea, you were probably the first one to have an idea. If you were to open a lumber business, you were probably the only one in the area. So you were getting all the customers. If you were to open a restaurant, you were probably the only restaurant in the area. So everybody was going to your restaurant to eat. If you had this amazing idea to open a business to sell cars or internet company or whatever, not during your grandparents' time, but I mean, as long as you're the first one to think about something, usually it's going to work. But our generation, everything's been done. There's like a Tim Hortons at every 5 kilometers. The convenience stores are closing their doors because they can't afford to stay open now. So those people don't really have those incomes. And I mean, our generation, it's a lot harder to be successful with business. You have a great setup to take over, Thomas. New mills are nicer. Yep. Oh yeah, you have it made. Like, well, I mean, you still have to work, but your YouTube channel is doing great. And if you're making enough money to survive, pay the bills, and I'm sure living, I don't know if you're off grid but I know you're heating with firewood, so electricity is probably not that expensive for you. You don't need to go to the grocery store too often by having a garden. Elisa is pretty good at that as well, so it's really helpful for you that she can do something on the homestead and you can do something else, which is pretty amazing. One of the reasons I would love to have land would be to be able to plant like an orchard, have a place to go hunt, have a place to go bear hunt. Sorry. I would just love to find a place where I can call home and go and do whatever I want. If I want to build just a little frame to go camp in a tent, I can do it. I don't need to worry about, I don't want to build a cabin and pay taxes on it. If I just put like dead trees around me to protect me from potential animal threats and sleep in a tent, I can do it. Nobody can tell me what to do or what not to do on my own property. That's what I want. Big thing I need to get is a 1-ton truck, float trailer, and a mini skidder. I'm starting to get a lot more logging jobs. Well, that's awesome. I mean, when you have your business, the danger is to get too big too fast. But if you're doing the steps one by one, I mean, you wouldn't want to have all that equipment on day one. You start small, you build up some clients, jobs, money, and then when you see that the demand is there, then you can invest in more equipment because you already have the money coming in. And the way you're doing it, it looks like you're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. Well, my coffee's done. I was just hoping to be here for at least 30 minutes, and I've been for more than 30 minutes already. Hopefully you've enjoyed this live stream. It was a little bit more positive than what I'm used to have, a lot more energy. I'm smiling. I'm happy. Things are going great. I will let you guys go with a little outro video like this, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for being here. I have all the equipment now, but 3/4 ton truck, my mini tractors, and smaller float. You're gonna get there, Thomas. You're gonna get there. All right, take care, everyone.